What's up, YouTube? My name is Jenny. Jenny from the blog is what my friends call me. I'm a New Yorker and a huge Carmelo Anthony fan. What can I tell you? I've been following Carmelo since he was in Syracuse. So I wouldn't say that I'm like a bandwagon fan, went from watching the Knicks to the OKC Thunder. I just really like him, and that's where he's at, so that's the team that I'm watching. But there's a lot to be said about the OKC Thunder. I mean, there are other stars on the team, PG13, Westbrook, so they're doing their thing. Of course, I'm taking a lot of heat here in New York City. You would think a lot of people are Knicks fans, but actually, most people that I know are LeBron fans and Cavs fans. So, I wear my Thunder stuff to work and on the train, and I'm getting all kinds of looks. But it's all good. Everything's going good for the season so far. So I created this channel just to kind of talk about Carmelo and the Thunder and just other things going on in sports, because I feel like I have a lot to say about it, and I kind of just want to get it out there. So thanks for watching and join in on the conversation. Where to start? We had these 2 games in LA, which I watched both of them. The Lakers game, I don't really think there's much to say about that. It was blowout. Like what we're seeing from Ferguson, he really stepped up. It was funny. I don't know if you guys watch post-game interviews. I watch them too. I'm like so addicted to the NBA. But he was saying when he was a kid, which is funny because he's only 19, but a few years ago, back when Melo was playing on the Nuggets, he was inspired to do his head in braids like Melo had back then. So I thought that was pretty funny. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm upset over what Barkley said last night. I prefer when the games are on NBA TV or ESPN, because I think the analysts there, I think they get it. But TNT, I feel like I'm always disagreeing with someone. And maybe that's the point. Maybe as fans, we're not supposed to agree with the analysts all the time. I get that. But I kind of felt like Barkley was out of place where he said, PG13 doesn't have good defense. That's completely unfounded. And Barkley, I'm sorry, but he continuously hates on Melo. And, man, it pisses me off. Because they're kind of in the same place, right? I mean, Barkley never got a chip. Melo hasn't gotten a chip. Support your man. I don't understand. What's the problem? So yeah, we'll see what happens. I did like that PG13's family, though, contacted TNT and was like, can we just give you the breakdown of the man's resume? Because clearly you don't know what you're talking about. Which, Barkley, he's kind of old at this point. Maybe he is getting a little senile. Maybe he doesn't remember what's going on. The man nearly got tackled last night when they were throwing the football around. So who knows? Who knows? What can I tell you? So yeah. Another one is Reggie Miller. He's always talking shit too. So, and he's another one. I'm not a fan of TNT. And actually, I also watch Undisputed and First Take. I used to watch First Take every single morning because I love me some Stephen A. But then Carrie Champion left the show, and I stopped watching because I don't understand what that Molly Shannon chick is doing. But Stephen A., when Carmelo Anthony was on the Knicks, was a huge advocator of Carmelo Anthony. We all know Stephen A. is a huge Knicks fan. which is fine. He's completely, I mean, he's from Queens, you know, he's completely allowed to be a huge Knicks fan. But how are you going to support Carmelo for nearly 7 seasons on the Knicks, and now as soon as he goes to OKC, you start talking, you know, yakking your mouth? I know what he saw in Orlando when Carmelo refused to come out of the game and Billy Donovan called for a switch for another player to go in for him. I think it was like Patrick Peterson or someone. Melo said, "I'm staying in the game." I understand you're not supposed to do that. But Stephen A is literally the only person who called him out on it. And I'm just like, what is your problem? Always trying to make Carmelo look bad. He's just trying to win the game. They were losing at the time. I mean, they lost like 3 games straight in a row. So he's trying to win. He's trying to make some plays. Damn. It wasn't easy picking up his life, moving down to OKC. Now he's learning a whole new system, whole new role. You know, it was probably a stressful situation at the time. But Stephen A, come on, man. So yeah, I mean, I think they're adjusting pretty well. It seems like there's some good camaraderie between Russ, PG, and Melo. The only thing that I don't like about the OKC market is, you know, their post-game interviews really short. The production of things is kind of like, because it's so small market that you're not getting all of that extra stuff that you get when teams are in big markets, you know. You're not getting the razzle-dazzle, you're not getting, you know, these big-time interviews. So I kind of feel like I'm missing out a little bit. I don't know how you guys feel about that. I kind of feel like the coverage is, you know, it's not as great when you're... And this is actually the first time that I've followed a team that is not a New York City team. You know, I've been a Knicks fan since Melo's been on the Knicks, so a long time. And before that, I was a Knicks fan too. I mean, I grew up watching the Knicks. I'm from New York. You know, my dad watched the Knicks, so I watched it with him. Giants, sorry if you're a Jets fan. Yankees fan, you know, sorry if you're a Mets fan. But yeah, so I've mostly followed New York City-based teams. So this is the first time that I'm watching, you know, basketball down in Oklahoma City, and it's totally different. Even those halftime shows, I don't know if you're familiar with the halftime shows in other cities, but like New York's, I mean, at MSG you have like some crazy performance, you know, and then at OKC you kind of have like people who are like changing clothes really fast or doing acrobatics, or they had like this guy who was doing drums or whatever, and I'm just like, this is a whole different thing, totally different thing. But I like to go down. I would like to go down and see what it's like out there. It just looks so different. You know, MSG is in the middle of 34th Street. I'm not expecting that type of vibe down there. But the fans look like they're totally into it, so that's cool. They look like they have some really great fans down there. So yeah, so... Oh, I guess I should talk about the Clippers game too, because that was pretty insane. But I will say this. When the Clippers game started last night, I said to myself, there's no way that they're going to be able to run as fast as they're running for 48 minutes. And that's something that Russell Westbrook does not have a problem with. I mean, he is just constantly running the floor. And I knew Blake Griffin would eventually, as he always does, starts having a fit, where he pushed our man, Steven Adams, for literally no reason, but you know, he always is doing something like that. So I knew as soon as that happened, the game was over. I mean, people believe in the Clippers. I'm kind of underwhelmed by them, to be honest with you. I think DeAndre Jordan is a phenomenal player. And he was bullying the whole time down in the paint last night, which, you know, OKC, honestly, they just have Steven Adams. Melo can play bully ball, but it's different when you're playing with too many fouls, too many personal fouls on you. I mean, what's he gonna do? He's not gonna start hacking. He'd be done for the night. So, you know, DeAndre Jordan exploited that. He's a very athletic player, and Blake Griffin, when he's hot, I mean, you can't stop that. But at the same time, what other pieces do they really have? I mean, I really wasn't worried about it, honestly. Austin Rivers was out. Okay, they don't have CP3 anymore. Okay. Oh, I also caught the Houston and Warriors game. And what did Barkley say? He said, oh, I'm not even going to talk about this game because Houston's going to win this game. And who won the game? The Warriors won the game. So I don't know what this man is talking about. But yeah, that was a pretty entertaining game. CP3 had some crazy handles on that. I wish that they could have come out with the win because the Rockets have kind of been struggling lately. And we all know the Warriors don't need any wins. But anyways, I guess I'll stop here. You know, I feel like I could go and talk about everything that's going on in the NBA right now. But those are just kind of some of the things that I noticed and wanted to talk about. Write some comments. Let me know what you guys think. And I'll be back again in a few days for the next OKC game. And we'll continue to talk about the season and see how things progress. Anyway, Thunder up.